Differentials rise like morning sun, chasing points, the game's begun. Big decisions week by week, fantasy glory's what we seek. Pick your squad, the clock won't wait. Captain choice will seal your fate. Two enthusiasts breaking it down. Fantasy kings, we're taking the crown.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tinker Time, an FPL pod, the show for every fantasy Premier League manager who's already second-guessing their latest draft. It's Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026, and whether you're finally locked in your Gameweek34 draft or just here to scout some differentials, you've come to the right place. I'm Jim alongside Matt, and we're here to help you tweak, test, and yes, tinker your way to the top of your mini leagues. We'll break down the best value picks, extra trends, and hidden gems, so you don't have to stare at your squad screen in despair. So let's pop the hood, crack open the spreadsheet, and get tinkering. This is a momentous week, Game Week 33 behind us, and it is a pleasure to sit here and ask you, how the hell are you?
Well, I have
Crickets.
my health.
I'm getting crickets out of you.
I have my health,
Do you
allegedly.
even have
I don't know. I actually really, really feel like my athleticism, I wouldn't even call it athleticism, but whatever it was, our glory days of athleticism, they are gone. I don't think I could, do most sporting events right now.
Wow, what an intro. Thank you for that tidbit.
Oh, yeah, we're here to talk about soccer, too.
Maybe we should go back to the way we usually open these up.
Well, Jim, why don't you tell
Jesus
everyone
Christ.
why you opened up the episode today?
Well, Game Week 34, big double game week, a lot of points across the board. Some of us cashed in more than others, and I am now officially back on top of Matt, and I'm on top of him on the table.
Just like college. Yeah, no, I have to give you your flowers here. You had a phenomenal game week. I think our last episode was, can we trust Jim? And I think the answer is obviously no, because I kind of feel like you played me.
I'm a player. I've
Yeah,
doubted.
yeah, really, really. Let's focus on the good things that happened this game week. You broke 100 and what was your final score? 133?
122.
22.
Lost the clean sheet at the end there for Bournemouth, but 122 with the bench boost, so pretty good use of the bench boost there.
Really good use of the bench. So just so we remember, because I want to make sure our listeners are keeping you honest. You were going to hit the wild card, and then you chose not to, and you ended up going bench boost?
No, I was going to save the wild card for after this upcoming week, and then you told me that I should do it prior to the double. And I listened. I was always going to bench boost, but I made some moves, and it worked out.
Wow. That's
So,
phenomenal.
You were that meme of you were the ladder that I climbed up. You helped me out. So thank you.
I feel like the sexual tension is just through the roof. You've made a few references to, being on top of me and now climbing my body as if I am a ladder. We live just a couple streets over. We could just come hang out.
How was your week?
Week was plentiful. It's been cold again here in New England, so that's been awful. The only thing colder is my FPL score. I don't think I broke 60 points this week, which is really bad. I will admit, I think I texted you immediately that I forgot to hit save. And that is such a rookie mistake.
Really bad.
It's sometimes I get mixed up with my fantasy apps. There's certain, like fantasy baseball, you make the change and it auto saves. Fantasy football, you make the change.
I don't want to hear any excuses.
No. These are not excuses. These are just the things that I tell myself that, they don't help me sleep at night, but they don't keep me up at night either. Just a complete failure, a complete lack of concentration. Just a
Do you
complete.
think the fact that we didn't have a 33 preview app, that was the reason you didn't?
Honestly, no, because I didn't have, we obviously didn't record. I had some work obligations that I was working through, unfortunately, but I was locked into my lineup. I was all tinkered. I was ready to roll. My biggest change was that I was going to captain Holland, which Bruno didn't completely blank, which was nice. But Holland was, I mean, City on a double with Burnley on the tail end of that double. It was too good to pass up.
Yeah.
So just live and let learn, you know?
Live had a bad week too. They're going under, huh?
Ugh, brutal. Absolutely brutal. But, you
Yeah.
know, you know who else had a bad week? Should we get into it?
Let's.
Okay. And shout out my teammate Scott. He listened to our last episode or one of the recent episodes. He went as far as to give me a shout out on our team call. So everyone knows that we have a
Uh,
podcast.
Scotty.
I'm still employed. So can't be
Scotty.
yeah, Scott, drop us a comment if you're listening. All right,
Join the
no.
league.
So
It's not too late.
it's not too late. Game week 33 recap. So we're gonna start there. Really, really busy game week. Obviously, we had the double game week, but we did have some notable news, if you will.
More
I think
important.
why don't we kick it off? Chelsea sacked Liam Rossinier. I think I saw he was sacked 74 months remaining on his 78-month contract, paying him
Unbelievable.
$24 million to leave.
I think we said it at the time. 6-year contract for a manager is unbelievable. I get that's their whole business model with the players and like recouping some of that cost, having them long term. But the way they go through managers over there, it's like, who thought that was a good idea?
I don't really understand it. Like, the money aside, how I mean, they're giving these managers less of a leash than they gave Thomas Frank, but, no preseason is what I mean. I understand, right? Big club, the expectation is results and results immediately, but no goals in their last 5 games.
No goals is that's tough to.
That's tough. And it's so ironic because I feel like right before that, like when he I think came in and was appointed, they were in what, 8th or ninth, and before today they were up to maybe 5th, I think, at peak, maybe 3rd. They might have gotten up into, I think, at one point in time while he was in there. Um, yeah, Pedro was scoring goals. Cole Palmer can't even talk. Cole Palmer was back,
Yeah.
showing some signs of health. Like Chelsea, I mean, they had that nice run of fixtures with all those defenders and whatnot that didn't really pan out. But like, if you had asked me a month ago, or even I don't know, 2 months ago, was Rosenior on the way out? I wasn't seeing it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dropped off pretty quick. Yeah, I
You
don't know.
think he's sad?
No. He's got
No.
$24 million to then go get another job.
It makes no sense. That's so much money for a guy that is essentially unproven. If it works out, you're a genius. If it
Yeah,
doesn't,
that's kind of the mystery part of it, is that they paid him this much. Well, they signed I think the fact that they signed him was the surprise because historically they've gotten big names or Premier League managers who had recently been doing well. But he kinda came out of nowhere. And to pay him that much, to give him that little time, when you knew the pressure on him was gonna be crazy, who knows? A lot of talk about their whole financial situation imploding in the near future.
well, their wage model, it's foolproof. I mean, it's incredible.
So, at a high level, it's foolproof if they actually sell players for a profit, right?
I'm being very sarcastic. I think it's ridiculous.
No, but in theory, their idea is that they're signing all these players to long contracts. Their value
Right.
will go up, and then they'll sell them. But the
I
problem
think
is
I think the thought it's like a quantity versus quality thing. Like they'd rather sign 20 young players and hope that 2 or 3 pan out that they could really sell at a really big transfer fee as opposed to like signing someone who may be a little bit past their prime and probably overpaying and not being able to recoup it. So like the model on paper is very like Moneyball, but at the same time, like, you're one of the biggest clubs in the world. It's just very risky.
yeah, because it only works if they sell people. But the only person they're gonna sell is Palmer and Enzo, but those are their best players. So then they're like, I get it, it would work if you hit on all these players, but I don't know.
Well, they
Whatever.
have Garnacho.
Ugh,
All right, all right.
yeah.
Let me ask you this. If you're Liam Rossenier, you've got 24 millies just coming to you. You go and look on the other side of London and you just see this Spurs job that is now filled by De Zerbi, but if Spurs do get relegated and Spurs made a call to Rossinier, do you think he'd go back?
To go back to Spurs? What do you mean?
But would he, do you think he would take the Spurs?
I don't know. Yeah, probably. I mean, they're gonna get relegated, so expectations are pretty low, and with the squad, I'm sure he could bounce them back up. But I don't know
I just want to also commend you. I feel like you're taking this very well. You're not emotional about it. You
about
seem like you're
Russinier
at peace.
taking over the helm at Spurs.
No, no, no. That Spurs are firmly in the relegation, not battle. They're in the relegation zone. They're on the outside looking in.
Yeah, we're going down.
No, inside looking out.
That's like looking in.
Outside looking in. Yeah. Yeah, so big news this weekend, this game week, right? So Wolves, cemented, and Burnley after their loss today are both guaranteed to be relegated. So it is a one-team race essentially between Spurs, West Ham, and I honestly I think it's just the two of them. I don't think you could really put Forest or Leeds into that conversation anymore after this weekend. What do you think?
Forest, I think you can because it's only 5 points. Leeds, I think, is safe because they're 9 points off Spurs. But Forest, form wise, yeah, they have been playing too well to think they're actually a threat. Results wise, that's 2 games that they lose and we win, and they're in the drop.
It's so crazy, like, so in their last 5, Forest has drawn 3 and won 2, and in Spurs' last 5, they have lost 3 and drawn 2. So that means that over the last 5, and if my math is correct, 3, 6, 7, they've netted 7 points on us. That's crazy.
I mean, we are just so bad.
I mean, we like 3 weeks ago, we were fine. Like, if to have a 7-point lead, I'm not saying it was comfortable, but, like,
We drew City 2-2 February 1st. After that, lost to United, lost to Newcastle, lost to Arsenal, lost to Fulham, lost to Palace, tied Liverpool, lost to Forest, lost to Sunderland, that just drew at Brighton. That's bad.
that's so bad. And like, the Brighton loss this week, you could just feel it. There was this aura that, like, Xavi scored that screamer to put them ahead. The guy literally could not move. He was cramping up. Like, nobody could throw him a banana. Like, are you kidding me? Just get them, like, some potassium, just some sort of electrolyte.
Go to Kazakhstan. Huge exporters of potassium.
All other Central Asian countries have inferior potassium. Don't copyright it. But, I mean, Kevin Danzo. Kevin fucking Danzo.
Really bad. Really bad. And the problem is he's going to be our starting center back when Romero and Van de Ven leave next year.
He actually, I think it was last season, he was getting used quite a bit as a sub, um, by Ange in the Europa League games, and he would come on, and there was some stat that was like, he has never conceded a goal or something like that, or like 1 goal in all of his subs, and everyone was like, "Yeah, like, he's really solid, like, he's not gonna do anything to, you know, really flashy or blow you away, but, he's gonna make the right play."
No.
Just can't do it.
I'm pretty sure he would come on and they would him as the third center back in between the other two.
Ugh,
Just to
just a
part.
mess. Just an absolute mess. The I don't know.
Yeah. And
I'm
then
sure when this is all said and done, we'll have a postmortem.
Archie Gray had the chance to put a winner away at the end there too, after Brighton coughed it up in their box. But again, just a pitiful attempt that kind of sums up our attack last year.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be careful coughing near the box, but, nice to see Matters back on the bench.
Big strap.
Um, Kulusevski, show us a sign of life. Uh, just
Don't worry, he's all in on staying with Spurs next
he's
year. When
all
they go.
in. That's because nobody wants him. Ugh,
As bad of form as Spurs are in, though, you know who's actually in worse form?
the Michelin Man.
He's got more of a dad bod, but Arsenal, worse form
I'm
than
s
Spurs. And with
I'm
the
so
result
glad you said
today,
it.
officially dropped out of the lead in second place. City takes over with 5 games to play.
It's
What a
beautiful.
storyline here.
Yeah, so the scenario here, so if they finish level on points, which they are right now, the tiebreaker is goal differential. If they are level on goal differential, it goes to goals scored. And if they are level on goals scored, it then goes to head to head matchup. So right now, they are level on points and they're level on goal differential. So City is in first place because they have scored 66 goals and Arsenal have only scored 63. Could you
Yes.
imagine? Could you imagine? We talked about it all season. Arsenal in first place, but their top goal scorer has what, like 6 goals? Like, not impressive by any means. Can you imagine if that's what it comes down to? Like, what do you think Arteta would honestly say? What do you think that presser would sound like?
He might quit. He might leave. They might run him out of
I
town.
think he should. I agree.
It's kind of wild. So Gyökeres is up to 12 goals now. 3 of those are penalties.
Wow.
3 of those are
Wow.
yeah,
That's really justifying that price tag in the summer.
yeah. But then the next highest goal scorer is Eze at 6, tied with Saka at 6. So and that
As they had three
includes
of them against Spurs.
I think he had 2 on the next one then, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so he has 5 of his 6 are against Spurs. Like, what does that say?
Yeah. So, I mean, we joked about it tongue in cheek the first half of the year that their highest goal scorer was own goals and defensive contributions and uh, and corners and set pieces. But it's finally coming to a head here that they just can't score goals from open play,
It is so satisfying.
and the defense still not keeping clean sheets. So we'll see.
Yeah. No Calafiori, no Timber over the weekend against arguably their biggest game of the season,
Yeah,
but everyone has injuries. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
yeah. Plus, they still have Champions League, so
Right.
another
Right.
midweek game this week that City does not have to worry about. So, yeah, some interesting times over at Arsenal.
Do you think there's any consideration by Arteta to just go for Champions League? I mean, obviously they're obviously tied with City, so it's not like they aren't going for it. But if there was a, like, do we rest our players for Champions League versus? Do you think he would ever do that?
I don't really think so because it's not like City where they have an abundance of attacking players that like they would be rotating, you know? Like
Well, they have plenty of attacking players, but they don't play.
they have attacking players, but not like none of them are really good at the moment.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, you're not gonna like Jokeresh is gonna get benched to prioritize one over the other. I can't see that.
Mm. It's gonna be a fun finisher
Gonna be a fun one.
for one fan base. The other one will probably really, really be sick to their stomach.
Yeah, the quadruple slipping away.
Speaking of quadruple, the man with 4 names, player of the week,
Ugh.
Morgan fucking Gibbs White, with 20 points, 3 goals, a hat trick, and 3 bonus points in 88 minutes. He's another one that's kind of like gone under the radar all season. I think it seemed like he was overpriced. I think he's at 7.5 right now. If you had Gibbs White, which I don't know why you did, good for you.
Yeah, so a couple of people had him. It's a
Freaks.
risky pickup given that they have been in relegation battle the last 6 months. So, takes some balls to bring him in, but he's he's done well, unfortunately. The fact that it's the storyline of that he almost joined Spurs in the summer and now scored a hat trick on the day that we were trying to jump him in the table that's another
Yeah.
dagger.
Yeah.
But
I mean, in hindsight, like, just looking at the fixture, it makes complete sense why, you would target a guy like Gibbs White, even if you were on free hit. But yeah, yeah, not good for him.
yeah, I guess.
We kind of talked about flops, but I think it's got to be Spurs. It's got to be Chelsea collectively. Would you throw Liverpool in there too?
I wouldn't throw Spurs in there.
You don't think Spurs are a flop this week?
From an FPL perspective, they scored 2 goals. That's more than they've done in a while.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, sure. There was some return there. I will
Yeah,
cede that.
I think Chelsea's the big one. Like, I mean, we said
I
it, no
agree.
goals, 5 weeks in a row. Palmer and Pedro are just a shell of what they were a month or 2 ago. And the defense, I feel like people have gotten off their defense given the recent form, but yeah, just no points anywhere on the Chelsea squad. I'm really not much optimism looking forward.
No, no, very little. Yeah, I Liverpool saved at the death, but that's a derby, so that was kind of a fun one.
Are
Van
you saying
Dijk, I
Liv
did have.
are you saying Liverpool's a flop just because you have, Szoboszlai?
No, I have Van Dijk.
Don't you have Szoboszlai as well?
No, 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 no. I don't
Okay.
believe I do. To be fair, I need to check my lineup, but now I'm second guessing everything. Let's see. Let's see.
We have Gravenberg.
I
Apologies.
have Ryan Gravenberch. He has been a flop.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, Salah scores, Van Dyke scores, so that's their most owned midfielder and defender. So I wouldn't say it's a flop.
why don't we go
Okay.
through the fixtures?
Yeah, let's do it.
So Saturday we had a big slate. We had Brentford and Fulham with a barn burner 0-0 to kick off the weekend, followed by Leeds winning 3-0 against Wolves. Newcastle could not push past the Cherries, losing by a score of 1-2. Spurs and Brighton leveled at the death.
Mhm.
Absolutely brutal. And we mentioned Chelsea couldn't put any goals past United, who scored a goal off of a Bruno Fernandes assist. Jimbo, break down Saturday. What stood out to you here?
So I watched Brentford Fulham, a bit of a snoozer.
PU.
Brentford had a chance at the end and Leno had an amazing save. I don't know if you saw that one. One point blank, saved it over the bar. But other than that, pretty but tough game. Leeds, I think James Justin, the big storyline there. What do you have? 19 points total.
Yeah, just missed Mr. Bust of the week, Mr. Boom.
Mr. Boom. So a 3-9 defender with that many points on doubles is great there. Wolves officially relegated off of that. So, I mean, results not a surprise. Newcastle to this one is kind of still a thorn in my side. Anthony Gordon didn't play. He's flagged with a hip injury, and he's still flagged now going into the short game week here. So I have some concerns over him, and I'm really not sure. I'm hoping you have some inside information you could share.
I'll call Eddie.
You guys go way back.
Fast Eddie. Cash for your gold. I don't know. Wait, what is it? That's two different stores.
Oh, he's a pawn shop too, isn't he?
Called Fast Eddie for cash fast, boy.
So yeah, I mean, from FPL perspective, I think the Bruno fans and holders were rewarded. Even though he didn't have a double, he still got the assist there. And then Palmer, I mean Palmer owners, he had a double this week, so people weren't going to be shy holding him. Then he sat out the second match. And
Mm.
so how much of that was his form was so bad that he was just wanted a break? I don't know.
It's got to be exhausting for him. I feel like all of his interviews now are just, are you staying or are you going? And like, he's under contract. What is he supposed to say? I'm out of here? Like, just like enough. Like, there's a reason why these players have agents. It's so that they can have those conversations for them. Anyway, yeah, no, Saturday was tough. I think I was already pretty much buried after Saturday's result because you had a lot of folks who were targeting the Leeds and the Bournemouth double, and there was a lot of points to be had there. Just like you said, I saw a lot of folks with the Leeds triple up on defense. I saw a lot of folks with
Mm.
the Bournemouth triple up on defense. I mean, it was just one of those things, even though Newcastle did put one past there, which kind of saved me a little bit. That Leeds triple up was, I mean, that was it. I was buried, dead and buried at that point. Really, really tough. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What about Sunday? Were there any games on Sunday?
Yeah, so a lot of goals in the opening one. Villa 4, Sunderland 3. Ali Watkins put himself back on the map. Then he had the Merseyside derby. Everton 1, Liverpool 2. Like we said, Liverpool snuck one back at the end. Forest 4, Burnley 1. Like we mentioned, game week high of the week, 20 points for MGW there, and then City 2, Arsenal 1 to round out Sunday afternoon. Where City took 3 points off the leader. 6-point game there. Did you get to watch any of these?
I got to watch the City game. It was, well, I should say, I got to watch most of. I think I turned it on like right after they equalized, so I missed the Donnarumma just doing Donnarumma things.
Mm,
Jerky's goal was nice. I did see that, just
yeah.
kind of the lead up to it.
I like him. He's good. He's fun to
He's
watch.
I he's, like, sneaky. I would just, like, love to watch him with a ball at his feet, just mess around for, like, a half hour. I feel like he's that skilled. But, yeah, no, you mentioned it. I think I texted you, Ollie Watkins back from the death, just full Undertaker. Again, like, not a player that I think has had a very good season by his standards and for his price point. But if you think about the whole of forwards this season, it's Holland and like even Thiago has kind of cooled off. Everyone has all this money to spend. I could easily see folks just throwing money there because João Pedro has been awful as of late.
Yep.
Thiago, yes, he's getting his penalties here and there, but like who else is there?
I think Bowen's the only other one that's kind of in form at the moment. Him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's gonna be goal hungry ahead of the World Cup here. I know he had a quiet season, so he's gonna want to be making sure he gets his name out there for the England squad.
Mm, mm,
So I think he
yes.
would be a great pickup for the run in.
You showing your hand a little bit?
But not yet. Not yet.
I love a good tease.
I mean, their fixtures too. They have Fulham, Tottenham, Burnley, Liverpool, and then they finish with City. So four
That's
really good games coming up.
I'm assuming Spurs you're not calling really.
Really good for Ali to score.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
What about the rest of the fixtures? We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What do we got here?
Yeah, Monday, so big one for the relegation battle. Palace 0, West Ham 0. You texted about 88th minute saying, I guess we'll take the draw. And I was shitting bricks for the remainder of the 5 minutes because I thought we were gonna get screwed there. But luckily West Ham unable to score, Bowen unable to do it all himself in that one. And then yesterday, Brighton 3, Chelsea 0. That was the final nail in the coffin for Rossonnier. Welbeck didn't start, but comes off the bench and still scores. So he's had a tremendous season. Your man Minta, he's really fallen off though.
Hideki Minta.
Yeah. Then today Burnley 0, City 1. So City officially took the title race back into their own hands with that win. Another goal for Holland. So 2 goals from him on the game week. A good double after his cold streak. And then the other one, Bournemouth 2, Leeds 2. Kind of a fun one there. So Bournemouth took the lead, gave it up for an own goal, took the lead back, then had a third that was ruled off, and then Leeds tied it up in the 97th minute. So they stole a point back, and at 40 points, I think they're at now. I think that they're probably safe.
I was gonna say, I think so. Like looking at the table right now, you've got European football for Brighton, who are in sole possession of 6th place, which, if I understand the conditions correctly, so if Villa win the Europa League and finish in 5th place in the Prem, like in the table, I think that means the 7th place team would get a European spot. There's some condition where like they don't just like they have to win Europa and finish in a certain position in the table.
Mhm.
The teams beneath, I don't know. It's they're going to get a lot of teams into Europe this season, one way or the other. But
I think it also comes down to the FA Cup too, right? Because the winner of the FA Cup qualifies.
you might be on.
Isn't that? Let me look that up.
Please hold.
Why don't you tell me? No. Okay, so it's through it. If you win the FA Cup, you qualify for Europa League.
Okay.
So they would take it
Learn
from.
something new every day.
So like Leeds could take it from Brighton.
Leeds could take it from Brighton. Right. Because right now, Bournemouth are in sole possession of 7th position, which is the Conference League, which is just crazy to think that
Yes.
Bournemouth, without Solanke, without Semenyo, are still in position for European football. That's incredible.
Yeah, Andy Raiola announced he was leaving at the end of the season. I don't know.
Andone.
Yeah. So yeah, still some movement up there. Another spot potentially. So nobody's
Oh,
out of it.
there's plenty of time for some movement.
Unfortunately, not for us
Not
because
for
we
us,
would
no.
need
Well,
17
we
points
just
out of
need
5 games.
we
Well,
need
we'd be
one
pretty
move.
close.
We need one move. We need one. I think what did I text you today? I think I said like that team on paper. How did they not win 15 out of? How do they not get 45 points or something? What did
Yeah,
I say? 15 wins out of the
15
38
wins.
games. Like that is just insane. How many wins do we have right now? 7.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. It's
Uh,
so bad. Like, do you realize 15 wins right now? Just pure 15 wins would put us in 12th. That's without any ties.
7 wins. So
16 wins would put us in Europe. We're not asking them to win 30 games.
anyway, anything else from midweek?
No, I'm glad this game week is behind us. I stand with my decision to roll my free transfers. I goofed, and I've been paying the price for it. I think my season might be cooked officially at this point.
All
I'm
right,
just so goofy.
week 33, team of the week. So we have in the back Leno with 10 points, big save, like I said over the weekend. James Justin,
Huge.
19 points. He had most of that in that first game week. Oh boy, Kadulu over at Brighton,
God
16
bless you.
points. Kuzanov, 15. O'Reilly, 13. So City, one clean sheet out of the two. Gibbs White, 20 points after his hat trick. Pascal Gross, good to see him back in the team. I think that's like 4 weeks in a row he scored. So 16 points off
Pretty
his.
good.
Emeka Okafor, 16 points over at Leeds. And then Ryan Cherky, 13, rounding out the midfield. Watkins, 16 points after his brace. And then Holland, 13 points, who also had 2 over his week there. So this in total will get you 167 points. That might be the highest I could remember in a double game week. So that is pretty damn good. Some people were getting pretty close to that in our league.
I was gonna say we had 140, I think.
Yeah, like 136 was first round IR. I think he was in the 40s until they let up Bournemouth let up
Mhm.
the clean sheet 'cause he had 2 defenders.
Yeah, this would look drastically different if Bournemouth had kept their clean sheet. 'Cause I think at one point, I remember looking at his team and he had like almost 60 points just from them. Like maybe 50 points just from the 3 defenders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Senesi
Insane.
I think he had the assist for the other goal that got called off.
He did.
So temporarily even more points on the board.
Well, why don't you stop blue balling us and why don't you tell us about your team? How many points? Who'd you have? Who'd you start? Who'd you play?
I ended with 122. I had Verbruggen in the back, so he had 8 points there. Bob O'Reilly, 13 points, coming back from that injury scare, so that was nice. Senesi, 6 points, and Aina in the back with 2 points. Semenyo, 5, Bruno, 6. Palmer, only 2 points, so big flop there. He didn't play that second game. And Dewsbury Hall, 6-pointer out of there. He got the assist on Beto's goal, who I also brought in this week. So Beto, 9 points. Unfortunately, he's flagged and came off injured, so I'll have to deal with that. Welbeck,
What a bitch.
yeah, Welbeck coming off the bench for a goal, 8 points there, and then I captained Holland for 26. However, I used my bench boost, so off my bench I had Emi Martinez, only the 2 points there. Gordon again didn't play at all, so he's flagged still, so 0 out of Gordon. Canvo at 10 points because of his clean sheet against West Ham, so that was nice there. And then James Justin rounding out my bench with 19 points. So damn good use of the bench boost, I'd say. What was that? 31 points. What more could you
That's
ask
a
for?
really good bench boost. That's a really good bench boost. I gotta ask, what business do you have having Canvo in your team?
He's cheap, 4.5,
Okay.
4.5 mil.
Okay. Over James Hill?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm not gonna question.
their last 3 games were Leeds, Newcastle, and West Ham. That's pretty good.
Okay. Okay. I don't remember you discussing Canvo at all. So I'm having a hard time trusting you. But okay.
I brought him in game week 32. So you just don't listen to me.
I guess to be fair, we didn't have a game week 33 ep.
Mm.
So maybe you're just not texting me late at night like you used to. Okay.
I didn't bring
Anything
in
else?
Hill because I brought in Senesi instead. That was like 6 weeks ago. So
Okay.
I
Okay. I
I
see what you
pivoted there to get the defensive contributions and the assists. So yeah, 122 points. I'm up to 11th in the league. Huge jump. Let's hear you.
from 21st to 11th in what, 10 game weeks? 12 game
Well,
weeks?
16 to 11 in our league.
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I am like the exact opposite. I think I am just in complete free fall. Scored 54 points on the week. That's hard to even say out loud. The average was 66. I just got absolutely slammed. I started Dubravka in the back on the double. gave me 4 points. Lewis Hall, 1 point. What are you doing, Lewis? Just get your shit together, Newcastle. Van Dyke with an 8-pointer with that goal really saved me. Gabriel with no points. And I'm surprised he didn't get a red card for headbutting Holland. That was a blatant headbutt. Very, very surprised, but whatever. I mentioned James Hill with the 5-pointer, which the own goal hurt there. Bruno Fernandez was my captain with 12 points. Semenyo gave me 5 points. Gravenberg gave me 2. Palmer 2, Toddy Castellanos 2, and Holland 13. It hurt a little bit because I had Kelleher on my bench who had 6 points. I did not start him. I chose to go the double game week keeper over him. And Esteve had 6 points on the bench too. So, I mean, not that it would have made a difference, but it would have been nice for my game week to start with a 6, not a 5. There's nothing to say about my team.
All right, let's move on to
Nothing.
Tinkerton, who has even less to say.
Well, so he scored 70 points. Son of a bitch, he's just coasting along. Most of his points came from Verbruggen, 8-pointer. He had Turkey in there for 13, and he had Holland as a captain at 26. No chips used or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, that stings to lose to a guy who literally,
Did he make a move this week?
no, he hasn't made a move in like 2 months. He doesn't know what he's doing. Doesn't know what he's doing.
Still doing better than you.
Just all right, Jimbo. My saving grace, captain's draft.
Oh.
So going back to last time we recorded, you were sitting at 93 points. I was at 94. In game week 32, you chose Welbeck and I chose Bowen. And then this last game week, you chose Holland and I chose Semenyo. So add up all the points. After game week 33, Jimbo, you are sitting at 108 points and I am sitting at 113. You will pick first in game week 34. So if I have nothing else, maybe it's just this made up little captain's draft that I can hang on to.
We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, we will see. And sometimes, Jim, you gotta, you can't just expect luck to come to you. Sometimes you have to make your own luck,
Take it
right?
in
See if
your
you can
hand.
make it happen for yourself. And Jim, this episode is brought to you by the Make Your Own Pizza Pie, the culinary revolution that asks the question, why should the chef have all the fun and do all the work? Why sit at a table like a tourist when you can roll up your sleeves, put on a questionable apron, and step behind the counter into a world of flour-dusted chaos? It's an interactive experience. You're flinging the dough. You're splashing the sauce. You're living the dream of every red-blooded American who's ever looked at a professional kitchen and thought, I could do that, and I could do it with more flair. But be warned, freedom has its limits. Because the moment you reach for those cucumbers, the dream ends. Suddenly, you're not just a chef, you're a philosopher in a heated debate about the very nature of existence. When is it a pizza? Is it a pizza the moment you put your fist in the dough? Or is it not a pizza until it comes out of the oven? And more importantly, who are you to put a cucumber on a pizza? It's a violation of the natural order. It's a slap in the face to Poppy. It's a culinary scandal that could result in a very messy, very public falling out of the high-strung restaurateur. So if you're ready to pay for the privilege of making your own dinner while being judged by a man with a very strict topping requirement, this is the venture for you. Visit poppyspizzapit.com and use code TINKER for 10% off your own personal rolling pin. That's poppyspizzapit.com, code TINKER. And back to the pod, the cucumber.
They got sloppy.
I swear, I didn't. That just happened to be the ad read, and you happened to name yourself Poppy today. So that is just, you're on
Serendip-
fire.
Yeah.
You're on fire. All right. Moving on to game week 34. So game week 34, we have a Friday deadline, 1:30 Eastern. This is the blank game week, right? So we have City, Chelsea, Bournemouth, Brighton, Burnley, and Leeds. They all played twice in game week 33, and as a result, they will all blank in game week 34. So this is really that week where, if you didn't use your bench boost, or sorry, free hit in game week 33, you could consider deploying your free hit in game week 34. Jimbo, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you have it, it's the last time to use it, really. I think a lot of people are going to be having 6 or 7 players, and that's never a great feeling going into this week, especially with some flag. Palmer, Gordon, like I said, Edo.
Looking at the fixtures, though, I mean, just really quick. Friday, obviously, Sunderland playing Forest, and then Saturday is where most of the slate. So you got Fulham hosting Villa, Liverpool hosting Palace, West Ham hosting Everton, Wolves hosting Spurs, Arsenal hosting Newcastle before the Monday crew, Man United, play Brentford.
Every fucking week they play.
Every fucking week they play on Monday. I don't know why they have to have their own fucking special day. But Jimbo, like in all seriousness, right? So let's say, you've got 4 or 5 players that you can field. You want to hit that free hit button. I mean, who are you targeting?
Let's see. So I think Watkins. I think Watkins is a good form. I don't think it's crazy to bring in Liverpool players home against Palace. Palace is really nothing to play for. Salah's going to be going on his goodbye tour. Show the home crowd something there. I hate to say it, but I don't think a Spurs player is out of bounds. Wolves are officially relegated. Nothing to play for. We have everything to play for. So
Which 3 would you bring in, or 2
3,
or 1? Like, which Spurs player would you target, or players?
probably like Poro and Javi, or yeah, probably those two.
Yeah.
I would say Richie, but I don't know if he's gonna start. So probably Xavi and Porro are the safest. And then I think Bruno is like, I think he's so highly owned that if you don't have him in your squad this week, you're really at a risk for losing position.
It's just crazy to me that you could be on a free hit, and it's not a given to have 3 Liverpool against Palace, to have multiple Spurs against Wolves. This season is just it's been so perplexing and so humbling.
Yeah.
Like, would you
Yeah.
bring in, would you bring any Arsenal players in against Newcastle?
Yeah, I guess
Maybe that.
if Gordon's out, I would say the defense is probably not bad to bring in because Newcastle haven't been great apart from Gordon and well, really apart from Gordon. So
I
who are
kinda
they,
don't hate
who are they gonna have to score? I think Arsenal defense is probably not a bad play because might be chip in a set piece goal.
I could see that. I I kinda don't hate Everton defense this week.
Yeah,
I mean, Everton's defense has been good all season. I mean, I don't know. I think I've been holding on to free hit. And so I've got 3 transfers in the bank. I've been holding on to my free hit in, the potential for a game week 36 double game week. But I just, because remember, I don't have my wild card. But maybe I just pull it this week just to, I don't know. It's gonna either pull me back a little bit, or I'm just gonna completely miss again. Like, I almost have, like, the transfer jitters. I don't know what the word is for it, but
if I were you, I would definitely pull it this week.
I think I have to.
You don't want
I
to
think I
fall
have to.
behind, even if it just keeps you where you are. You don't want to fall behind and then have to fight back out of that. You know,
Yeah. Well, I already have. I already am behind. I think, what am I back right now?
off of me,
Well, off of you, I think I'm off, what, 30,
25.
25, and then, I mean, yeah, to even finish in the top half, 50 points off. So I gotta make a move. I gotta make a move. My gut is saying Xavi, Poro,
Hmm.
Bruno Fernandez.
Yep.
That's 3. Tarkowski, 4. Van
Dewsbury
Dyke,
Hall,
5. I would throw Dewsbury Hall in there.
Salah,
6.
Salah.
I'm worried I can't afford Salah, but maybe Salah. Probably Watkins. Like, what forward options are there this week? I think it's really just Thiago. Is Ekitike healthy, or is
He's
it
out.
is it is
He's
out?
done.
Zizak been playing?
I
Great.
think he came on as a sub. Didn't he? No, he started. He got subbed off. I think it was a week prior he came on as a sub. Isak's done
I
great.
took off I took off work tomorrow just so I could tinker. My wife thinks it's so I
That's
can
smart.
join her and my daughter at Bring Your Kid to Work Day, but the truth is I'm just gonna be tinkering on my phone the entire day.
That's smart.
She'll
You're
never
ne
listen to this.
you're never gonna have this opportunity to tinker again
No,
in your life.
Game Week 34, 2026. It's never coming back.
This is it. You get one shot.
One shot, one opportunity. All right. So, I mean, I was getting into team reveal there a little bit, but let's try to keep things moving. What do you think for captaincy this week? Who are the top picks?
I think Bruno's gonna be the most popular pick. I don't know if he's the most explosive, but I'd say he's probably the safest for maintaining table position. But I think Salah has equal potential there.
You're really high on so.
I am. I am.
Would you throw Watkins the armband?
Watkins, I don't know. I know he's coming back into form, but away at Fulham, who've also been a tough match all season, that might be asking a lot.
It's just so tough because, like, I can't remember how long it's been since, well, if ever. We have 5 game weeks left, including game week 34. There is so much table jockeying that can happen between these teams that, like, you can't even sit here and say, like, "Okay, Villa, they've got 3rd place, pretty secure." They're gonna focus on Europa League because that's their best way to hedge into Champions League. Like, no, if they don't keep their foot on the pedal, they could be completely out. You know what I mean? It's like even Palace,
Yeah.
they're only 6 points off of European football. It's hard because you almost wish some of these teams were more out of it by now, or I shouldn't say out of it, but they were more secure, at the mid to bottom table range, that these games didn't really matter. The reality is a lot of these games have very big implications one way or the other.
Yeah, that's why I think this is the best time to use your free hit. Get through this week, we'll know a little bit more, and then set yourself up for the run-in with your transfers and who you're gonna really be stuck with.
You convinced me. I think I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Bruno's probably the top captain pick this week. Other than that, it's really hard to say. It's
Yeah.
really hard to say.
It's
So
gonna
I'm not
be
gonna.
it's gonna be a differentials own the week regardless. So not crazy to say a differential captain would also be there.
Speaking of captains, so it is your pick in our captain's draft this week. My advice to you: don't pick anyone on City. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna go Mo. I'm going Mo.
I summon my Egyptian god Mo Salah. We'll lock that in. I am going to go with the hot hand, and I'm gonna go Gibbs White.
You lint liquor. You can't root for him to score.
Not rooting for him to score. I just think he's going to.
Ugh.
Fine, fine, fine. I'll change it. I'll go
Nope,
Javi.
nope. You locked in. You locked in those lyrics.
Okay.
I like the Javiano. Yeah. As far as differentials, he was gonna be the only one that I say in there.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it's getting pretty late in the season now to really even have. Yeah, I mean, it's at this point, players are either good, bad, or they have one good game week that completely just was not on anyone's radar. So I don't know. I think the bigger question is really just like chip strategy the rest of the way. So if you have your free hit, you're endorsing use the free hit this week. I could buy into that. If you haven't used your triple captain yet, is there a game week that maybe you're holding on to? I see your eyes going a little crazy. Makes me think maybe you're not possibly suggesting this week.
No, 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 no.
Oh, hold
Because
on.
there's still a potential for a double in 36, correct? With City.
I believe so.
I'm holding my triple captain until then.
Yeah, I mean that I'm just looking at the fixture run the rest of the way. So Arsenal have Newcastle this week, and Fulham, West Ham, Burnley, Palace to end it. And then City have a blank this week, Everton, Brentford, Bournemouth, Villa. On paper, I mean, I'd have to give it to Arsenal. They're playing West Ham and Burnley. Could you imagine if Arsenal has the choice? Like let's say they lose against Newcastle, they lose against Fulham, City get 6 more points on them by the time they play West Ham. Arsenal have to choose, do we let West Ham win and relegate Spurs, or do we try to win this game and try to make a title push? I don't even want to have that conversation.
Sophie's choice.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I don't know if I really see any other obvious. I'm looking to see who Burnley plays. I mean, Leeds, Villa, Arsenal, Wolves, but who on Arsenal would you triple captain? And I guess if
Yeah, I don't
maybe
know.
if Saka's back and healthy by then, but that's in a little less than a month. That's on May 7th. Yeah, I would hold it. I would hold it. 36 is looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe it's or yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think so right now I've got my free hit, I've got my triple captain, and I have my bench boost. So I need to use these chips.
Too many. You got too many. You're gonna run out.
I'm gonna run it. Well,
You
not
run
gonna
out
run
of
out.
time.
I think what I'll probably do, I'll free hit this week. I'll roll the transfer from 35, which would give me 4 transfers into 36. So if there is a confirmed double game week on 36, I can use my transfers. That might be a potential bench boost week. and then that would leave me with a triple captain on 37 or 38. I could convince myself into that.
Single game triple captain.
Well, what's better, the double game week triple captain
The
or the
double
double
game.
game week? You think? Why didn't you just do that then? You just bench boost on a double game week.
I wild carded into it.
Okay.
Hey, you do you.
I
I'm
shouldn't do it.
25 points higher than you at the table.
All right. All right. Easy there. Easy there. Are you locked into your team for this week?
I believe so. I think I'm going to transfer out Palmer and Semenyo for Salah and Lefi. That'll give me 2 starters this week, and I really do want Salah for the run in here. And I got to get away from Palmer, so I'm probably going to do that. I'm probably going to do that tonight.
You're going to get rid of Semenyo instead of Palmer?
Semenyo and Palmer, so I can get in Salah.
Okay. Okay. And I mean, you have the transfers. You're not taking any hits.
Correct. I have 2 transfers.
I mean, my only concern about that is Semenyo might have a double in 36.
True. I could get back to him if I needed to.
Okay, moneybags.
I mean, if you have Salah, you can get to anybody.
That's true. That's true. Financially, that adds up. Okay. Well, I'm interested to see. I hope you keep me in the loop this time instead of
I'm telling
keeping
you
me in
right
the
now.
dark.
I'm going to do it right now.
Oh boy, you have the conviction, the cajones on you. It just took 34 game weeks.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all a guy needs.
I am going to free hit. I am not convinced on what my 11 look like just yet. Might wait until closer to Friday just to see if some injury reports come out, some pressers come out. Make sure that if I'm hitting that button and I've got a smaller group of players I'm targeting, I want to make sure I'm getting as close to full 90 as I can.
Love it.
Lord Tinkerton's not doing shit. He's so stupid.
Man, what an experiment it turned into.
You know what? I think it's honestly it's tracked very well with no one uses ChatGPT anymore. Everyone's using Gemini or Claude or Grok. So I mean, maybe it's just because ChatGPT sucks.
I think it's just actually mimicking the human condition that if you're that many points behind, you just give up. Right? I mean, you see it
That's
in the other
interesting.
league.
That's very interesting. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Did the AI tell you that? That's kind of what it sounds like. You're just a wizard.
It's been
Taking a
touching
super
on the
quick
side.
look at price changes. So Mukiele is on his way up tonight. Mavropanos, Virgil van Dijk, and Igor Jesus are all going to go up tonight. Looks like Xavi might be on his way up tomorrow. But other than that, I think that's pretty much everyone on their way up. Actually, a lot of droppers. So we got João Pedro, Timber, McAllister, Bomo, all on their way down tonight. Those are some big names.
Bomo injured, right? How long is he going to be out for?
Great question. I don't have that in front of me, so I'm not positive. Let me see if I can find it out for you real quick.
Let me see if I can beat you to
Bomo
it.
is injured, expected return, doubtful.
Doubtful. He's done.
That's tough.
Done.
That's a tough injury just to be doubtful. He'll probably still be back before Kulusevski.
I think Mudrik's dropping this week too, right?
Mudrik's dropping. Yeah, he's probably got to start training for the Olympics. I think he's going to do track. One player we didn't talk about, and just to sneak him in here right before we wrap up, rest in peace, Tijani Reinders. I mean, he was a player. He has not started a game since January.
Did he die?
No, he's not
Oh.
he's not on anyone's radar. He's totally irrelevant.
Okay. Yeah, you could phrase that differently.
Okay. I mean, I thought it was very obvious what I was referencing. His minutes have just he's not there.
Okay.
I mean, he started the season. He was hot. He was cheap. He was nailed. He was scoring goals. He had a fun name. I mean, how many? He was the reindeer man for the first
He
8
was.
weeks of the
It
season.
was a fun name. That's what they do. Look at what's his name? Marmouche. He was the savior last year. Hasn't gotten a shake.
History repeats itself sometimes, but it doesn't repeat themselves. It is never too late to join our mini league. I'll share the code in the description as always. Drop us a follow, drop us a like, subscribe on Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Apple Music. We're on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Drop us a comment. Let us know, what are you doing? What does your free hit team look like? Roast me. I mean, my standings have just fallen. I love getting roasted by you guys.
Your standards
We
have
will be
fallen?
back. I love it. Can't get enough. Live in the negative. No, we're gonna sprint here to the finish. We've got a few episodes left to wrap up the season here. It's been a lot of fun, and who knows? Who knows what will happen? But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, subscribe, drop that captain pick, hit the notification bell, and we will talk to you on the other side. Until then, happy tinkering.
Draft dreams rise like morning sun, chasing points, the game's begun. Big decisions week by week, fantasy glory's what we seek. Pick your squad, the clock won't wait, captain choice will seal your fate.